Hello YouTube, I'm here at VidCon with Lauren Fairweather, one of my friends that I have known the longest on the internet.
Yeah, I feel like you were probably like the first person I met in this community. Best buds from then on.
So we were actually inspired by a campaign that the Harry Potter Alliance is doing right now called Fan Works Are Fair Use.
We live on opposite sides of the country, so it would have been so easy for us to just kind of fall out of touch over the years.
And I think part of that is because of our continued ability to keep fan works as part of what we're doing. And even though, like, you know, the things that I write nowadays aren't necessarily fan fiction, they're my own original ideas and stuff. I don't know if I would have gotten there if it hadn't been for all of the time that I spent writing fan fiction and having people on the internet like tell me that they liked it.
Yes.
You know?
I love the interactive element of creating fan works online, especially because there are so many people who already know and love those characters, and it makes, I feel like it gives them an access point into your work and your voice and the things that make you different from the original content.
Yeah, exactly. And whereas I haven't really shown too many people my personal writing because, you know, I'm not sure and I'm nervous and it's not ready, I never had any problem putting my fan fiction on the internet. For some reason, that the fact that it was someone else's characters just gave me the courage to be like, here, I wrote this. You know, I wasn't really going to conventions or anything during the time of fan fiction. You know, I knew that there were some conventions going on, but fan fiction was such a sort of like solitary thing. But, you know, you had the comments, and like I would make friends with other fanfic authors and be each other's beta readers, and like, you know, there was still that community online, and there was still those people that you'd talk to, and then being able to then transition into something that was a little more social, you know, doing the Wizard Rock thing. At the end of the day, you know, you're still just two fans, and so you usually have a great time talking, and I love that sort of fan dynamic, because when you're a fan of someone who makes things about a thing you love, you know that you at least have that in common.
Yeah.
And I love that.
The day that Nina and I sat down and wrote And Then I Died and put 30 seconds of it up on our MySpace page was a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
And I would not be who I am right now if it were not for that. And like getting to meet everybody and all these people that I still keep in touch with. My husband is in the Whomping Willows, and I would never have even met him. I developed as a musician. I don't know if I would have had the courage to just start writing original music and putting it online, because that's really personal.
Yeah.
And I feel like the fact that I could write from another character's perspective and a character that people were familiar with,
yeah,
made it so that I could just try. It didn't matter that I didn't have experience, that I didn't know how to record, that I was still learning how to play instruments myself.
Oh man, yeah. I learned how to play the guitar halfway into being in a band.
So did I.
You know? And I can guarantee that I would have never played a concert in front of an audience if it was not for Harry Potter. A lot of the sort of like fan mania around Wizard Rock was still people loving Harry Potter and loving new ways to celebrate it. Like, I really feel like when I sort of took on the role of the Parselmouths, I was like role playing for the purpose of fans to be able to actually pretend that they're like at Hogwarts at a concert. And probably what made it more comfortable for me, you know, because like being a celebrity was never something that I like wanted. It was never like why I did anything, and I don't even think that like we were ever celebrities as Wizard Rock stars. You know, we were Harry Potter fans doing a really cool Harry Potter thing for Harry Potter fans. I definitely experienced, you know, being told that I was spending too much of my time on the internet, that, you know, the things that I was making were like stupid. And I'm just curious how you got through that, and like how you feel about it now.
I felt that way for sure for a long, long time, and I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that when I started, I was so young. So a lot of people had control over my life and control over what I could do with my time.
When you live with your parents and they want you to like do the dishes instead of being on your computer, you don't have a lot of say in that.
Or if they want you to go to college for something you're not interested in, so you have a backup plan, which is what I did. And in general, my parents just want me to be all right, and they didn't understand this whole community, so they couldn't really know whether it was the best idea for me.
I think that was the thing that I had to learn, is that, you know, I was spending almost all of my time in high school on the internet because I had made friends on forums, and I was writing these stories that people were kind of expecting the next chapter for, and when I was young, I couldn't find a good enough way to explain to my parents that what I was doing was not just like screwing around on the internet. You know, I don't think that my parents just kind of always assumed that I was on AOL Instant Messenger. And I was like, I'm like writing stories that people are reading.
My mom would always say, go outside and spend some time with the 3D people. But then I invited her to a Wizard Rock show that I was performing at, and 200 3D people showed up, and she was blown away at the fact that, wait a second, these this is who you were performing for. This is who you were talking to that whole time. And I think it took me being an adult and me spending enough time doing this thing that it reminded them that it meant a lot to me. It wasn't just something I was doing because I was bored or because I didn't want to do something else. It really was something I was passionate about.
I think I went through a similar thing with my own parents, and I think that, like, until they saw it, you know, they just couldn't understand it, because the way that we were using the internet in those, like, mid-2000, early 2000 years was just something that nobody who wasn't part of that understood, because it was just so different. It was just a hurdle that we had to get over, just, I think, with the internet in general.
How do you think writing these fan works has affected you as a person? How are you different? Not necessarily how is your life different, but has your personality changed? How have you grown because of what you've created?
It kept me writing, and it kept me creating.
Yes.
And, you know, in a time when, like, you might totally lose track of the things that you're passionate about, these fan works really kept me going. And so I think it helped just make it like a routine in my life. It helped it become something that I just do. And I think that's been the most valuable thing.
I think for me, confidence is the biggest thing. When I started writing fan fiction, and even when I started recording my own Wizard Rock music, I was kind of in a broken version of myself, hidden in this shell. I was terrified to really be who I was. And online, I could be who I knew I was on the inside and who I was just terrified to show to everybody else. So a lot of my high school career involved trying to fit in with everybody and then going home and needing that online time, that creative time to sort of be me again. I noticed that I stopped worrying what people thought about me, and that I would rather have people not like it or not understand it than having to hide it from everyone.
Yeah.
You know what?
This is who I am.
I don't really care if you don't like it.
We would love to hear your fan works stories, and I would love to see in the comments below the types of things that you've done with fan content, the types of people that you've met because of it, how it's affected your life.
If you want to talk about your experiences with FanWorks on social media and start a conversation with your networks, use the hashtag FanWorksTaughtMe. Also, the Harry Potter Alliance has created a community of FanWorks creators and enthusiasts, which you can check out at fanworksarefairuse.org.
Thank you so much for doing this video with me. I think it was really fun. It's going to be a long video, but I really enjoyed this trip down memory lane and talking about all the positive ways that fan works have affected our lives. And if you enjoyed this video, we're doing a collab on each of our channels. Lauren's channel is going to be right here and also down below, so you guys can go watch that and see what we talk about there. And I'm just having so much fun hanging out with you here.
I'm gonna miss you. I don't know when I'm gonna see you again.
I know. Okay, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Going with a game plan.
Yeah.
As opposed to just saying, I'm going to film and then filming everything and missing out on stuff, or filming nothing.
Yeah, or I hosted 2 different meetups here, and I actually kind of like got people to like, hey, can you just film my meetup a little bit? So I didn't have to be the one filming, because also you want to be in the video.
Yes! I'm never in my con videos.
Yeah, I hate it.